Have you ever stopped to consider how much the people closest to you influence your life? Our daily interactions, the conversations we have, the attitudes we encounter, all these contribute to shaping our thoughts, behaviors, and ultimately, our lives. It's an intriguing thought, isn't it? The power of influence is profound, and it's often the people we associate with the most who wield this power. Imagine this scenario. Let's take two friends, Jack and Jill. Jack is an optimistic individual, always looking at the bright side of life. He constantly pushes himself to learn and grow, and his enthusiasm is infectious. As a result, when you're around Jack, you feel inspired. You're drawn into his world of positivity and growth, and before you know it, you're starting to adopt his mindset. Now let's look at Jill. Jill is a bit of a pessimist. She often sees the glass as half empty and is quick to point out the negatives in any situation. When you spend time with Jill, you feel your energy levels depleting. You find yourself focusing more on the negatives and your mindset starts to shift towards pessimism. The difference between Jack and Jill illustrates the power of influence. Spending time with Jack uplifts you, motivates you, and pushes you towards growth. On the other hand, spending time with Jill pulls you down, drains your energy, and pushes you towards negativity. It's not about labeling people as good or bad. It's about recognizing the impact they have on your life. You see, we're not just passive receivers of influence, we're also active participants. We choose who we let into our lives and whose influence we allow to shape us. Influence is like a ripple effect. The people closest to us cast the first stone, creating ripples that spread out, affecting our thoughts, behaviors, and ultimately our lives. This is a clear indication that the people we surround ourselves with can either uplift us or bring us down. The power of influence is not to be underestimated. So, who are you letting influence your life? Did you know that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? That's right, you heard it correctly. This is what's called the average of 5 theory, and it's an interesting concept to ponder. Let's take the case of a successful entrepreneur, let's call him John. John attributes a significant portion of his success to the people he surrounded himself with. He had mentors who were industry leaders, friends who were ambitious and driven, and even his leisure time was spent with those who inspired him. Over time, the values, work ethic, and ambition of these 5 individuals rubbed off on John. They were his sounding board, his source of inspiration, and they held him accountable. As a result, John thrived, his career skyrocketed, and he became a successful entrepreneur. On the flip side, consider the story of another individual, let's call him Sam. Sam fell into a cycle of bad habits and poor choices. When we look at the 5 people Sam spent the most time with, we see a different picture. His circle was made up of individuals who lacked ambition, who were comfortable with mediocrity, and who had a negative outlook on life. Unfortunately, their influence rubbed off on Sam. He adopted their habits, their attitudes, and their lack of motivation. Consequently, his life took a downward turn. These two contrasting stories illustrate the power of the average of 5 theory. It's not just about the physical time spent with these individuals, but the mental and emotional investment as well. The influences we allow into our lives can shape our attitudes, our habits, and even our destinies. So, take a moment to think about the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are they lifting you up, pushing you to be better, and inspiring you to reach for the stars? Or are they pulling you down, encouraging complacency, and fostering negativity? These examples show that the average of 5 theory holds weight and can significantly impact our lives. So how do we ensure we're surrounding ourselves with the right people? Well, it's not as complex as it might seem, but it does require a conscious effort and a certain level of introspection. Let's start by defining what we mean by the right people. These are individuals who inspire you, challenge you, and help you grow. They are the ones who share your values, support your dreams, and most importantly, they are the ones who respect you for who you are. Now let's consider a story about a young woman named Lisa. In her early 20s, Lisa found herself stuck in a rut. She was surrounded by friends who were content with their mediocre lives, and their negativity was rubbing off on her. She realized that if she wanted to achieve her dreams, she needed to change her environment. So, Lisa made a conscious decision to change her circle of friends. She started attending networking events, joined clubs that aligned with her interests, and began to reach out to individuals who she admired. Slowly but surely, she started to surround herself with people who were ambitious, positive, and driven. The change didn't happen overnight, But over time, Lisa noticed a significant shift in her mindset. She was more motivated, more ambitious, and more focused on her goals. Her new friends inspired her to strive for more, and she found herself achieving things she had only dreamed of. The point of Lisa's story isn't to encourage you to abandon your friends, but to illustrate the importance of being selective about who you allow in your life. If you're surrounded by negativity, it's going to impact your mindset. If you're surrounded by ambition and positivity, it's going to propel you forward. Evaluate the people in your life. Do they inspire you? Do they support your dreams? Do they challenge you? If the answer is no, it might be time to start seeking out those who do. Remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Make those people count. Choosing the right people to associate with can be a game changer in our journey towards success. What impact do our associations have on our personal growth? This question is pivotal as we explore the 4th dimension of our discussion. The people we surround ourselves with have a profound impact on our personal growth and development. They shape our worldview, influence our decisions, and either nourish or stifle our potential. In essence, they form the scaffolding upon which we build our character and dreams. Let's delve into a case study to illustrate this point more vividly. Consider the story of Emma, a young woman who was caught in a cycle of negativity and self-doubt. Her circle of friends, while not necessarily bad people, were comfortable with their mediocre lives and had no aspirations for growth or improvement. This mindset was infectious, and it seeped into Emma's beliefs about her own potential. One day, Emma decided to make a change. She started surrounding herself with individuals who were motivated, positive, and ambitious. These were people who challenged her, encouraged her, and inspired her to aim higher. They were not just dreamers, but doers. They believed in continuous learning and were unafraid to step out of their comfort zones. This new circle of influence had a transformative effect on Emma. She began to adopt the same ambitious mindset, the same thirst for learning, and the same courage to step out of her comfort zone. Her self-esteem improved, she became more assertive, and she started setting and achieving goals she never thought possible. This was not a magical overnight transformation, but a gradual process that took place over time. Emma's story is a testament to the power of association in shaping one's personal growth. Her transformation was not due to a self-help book or a motivational seminar, but the result of a conscious choice to surround herself with the right influences. So let's reflect on our own lives. Are we, like Emma, nurturing our potential by aligning ourselves with positive influences, or are we stifling our growth potential by settling for mediocrity? Our personal growth is deeply intertwined with the people we choose to surround ourselves with. So, choose wisely, for your personal growth and success depend on it. So, what does all this mean for you? Let's take a step back and reflect on the journey we've embarked on today. We've explored the profound power of influence and how it subtly weaves its way into our lives, shaping our perspectives, our choices, and ultimately our destinies. We've looked at the idea that we are, in essence, the average of the 5 people we associate with the most, an intriguing concept that holds a mirror to our social circles and urges us to examine the reflections we see. We delved into the importance of choosing the right people, of consciously curating our social environments with individuals who inspire us, challenge us, and help us grow. We've emphasized that this choice is not a one-off decision but a continuous process, a delicate balancing act that requires ongoing introspection and adjustment. We've also examined the tremendous impact this choice has on our personal growth. The people we surround ourselves with can either nourish us or drain us, elevate us or pull us down, ignite our potential or stifle our progress. They are the architects of our mental landscapes, the sculptors of our self-perceptions, the authors of our life stories. But remember, this isn't about cutting people off or isolating ourselves from those who don't fit into our idealized versions of who we should be. It's about being mindful, aware, and intentional about who we let into our lives and how their presence influences us. It's about realizing that every interaction, every relationship, every connection leaves an imprint on us, subtly shaping us into the people we become. So, as we wrap up this conversation, I invite you to take a moment to reflect. Reflect on your circle, on the people you've chosen to share your journey with. Are they helping you become the person you aspire to be? Are they elevating you, challenging you, inspiring you? Are they contributing to your growth, your evolution, your journey towards becoming your best self? Remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely.